Sometimes you come across a single sentence that just stops you in your tracks, right? One that makes you totally rethink things. Well, today we're diving into one of those. It's a quote that just perfectly splits open two completely different ways of thinking about work, about effort, and ultimately about success. Let's get right into it.
All right, so here it is. It's direct, it's blunt, and yeah, it definitely doesn't pull any punches. But this one sentence, wow, it gives us such a powerful framework for understanding motivation. We're going to break down both halves of this thing, because they really do represent two totally different ways of seeing the world.
So before we go any further, I want you to just pause and think about this for a second. As we unpack these ideas, try to be really honest with yourself. Which one of these sounds a little more you? This isn't about judging, not at all. It's just about knowing your starting point. Now, this quote isn't just a simple work hard versus be lazy thing. Nope, it goes way deeper than that. It's really about the script that's running inside our own heads. It's about two different psychological paths that end up shaping everything we do and everything we expect to get back. And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. On one side, you've got what we can call the entitled mindset. It's like, hey, I did a thing, so where's my prize? It's a very transactional view of work. But then you look at the other side, the winner's mindset, and the reward isn't even part of the equation. The goal is the effort. The goal is to push as hard as you possibly can.
Okay, let's really dig into that first mindset. The quote calls it lazy, but it's more about this fundamental mismatch, a huge gap between what a person actually does and what they feel they deserve for doing it.
It all kicks off with a little work. And listen, this isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing the absolute bare minimum, just enough to feel like you've earned something. It's checking the box. It's putting in 1 hour on something that actually needs 4. It's just enough effort so you can say, hey, I tried. And boom, here's the critical breakdown. That tiny little piece of effort is immediately tied to the biggest possible outcome, winning. It's kind of like thinking that just by showing up to the marathon, you should get the gold medal. So when that win doesn't materialize, the thought isn't, man, I need to train harder. It's, this is so unfair. The system is rigged. All right, now let's completely flip the script and look at the winner's mindset. You're going to see right away that the entire approach to effort and success is playing on a totally different field. For this mindset, the benchmark isn't about what somebody else is doing, and it's not about just getting by. The benchmark is you. It's this deep, internal drive to push yourself to your absolute limit. The goal is to walk away knowing you left it all out there, not for some external prize, but because that's the only standard that truly matters to you. Okay, and this is where it gets really, really interesting and honestly a little weird. You'd think that after giving maximum effort, you'd feel amazing, right? Totally confident, super satisfied, but that's not what the quote says happens at all. Just think about that for a second. After you've given everything you've got, your inner voice isn't throwing a party. It's asking questions. Was that really all I had? Could I have done more? Where did I slack off, even for a second? It sounds like a total contradiction, doesn't it? This shows us that this worry isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. Let's give it a name: productive self-doubt. Now, this isn't about being insecure or anxious. No, this is the engine. It's the fuel that drives you to constantly get better. It's what stops you from ever getting comfortable and ensures that today's personal best is just the warm-up for tomorrow. So what we have here are two completely different paths. One is totally focused on getting a reward from the outside world. The other is driven by a relentless internal standard of effort. And when you boil it all down, it really comes down to the one question you're asking yourself over and over again. And this chart just lays it all out, crystal clear. Just look at the contrast. For effort, it's do a little versus work as hard as possible. For the expectation, it's a demand, I should be winning, versus a question, am I doing enough? And that right there points to the real difference. One is all about getting something from the outside, while the other is all about living up to a standard on the inside. And that brings us right back to the beginning, with one last question for you to take with you. When you're in the middle of a challenge, a big project, a tough workout, anything, what's the question that's really running on a loop in your head? Is it, have I won yet, which is all about the outcome? Or is it, have I done enough, which is all about the effort? The answer to that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about which path you're really on.